Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here as we get ready for the 20th race of the season, Season 3 of the NNSCRA Duracell Cup Series. However, this is going to be a 20th race that is split up into two races, actually. Two races today, 20-car fields. The 40-car field split up into two races. And we are going to leave here this evening with two race winners on the weekend, which could make things very interesting with only 7 weeks remaining until we know the official 16 drivers that will battle it out in this season's playoffs in the chase for the championship. But making its debut here tonight on the Duracell Cup Series schedule, we are here at the Chili Bowl for what will be race number 20A and race number 20B coming up shortly. It's going to be 75 laps each in both of these events, and as I stated, two drivers will be going to victory lane, and so far this season in our 19 races, we have had 16 drivers go to victory lane, albeit 3 of those drivers are outside the top 30 in points right now, so right now 13 drivers are currently in playoff spots via win. That leaves 3 spots currently open for drivers to make it in through points, but if we have 2 more winners for the first time this season go to victory lane tonight, and they're inside the top 30 in points, then we head into next week's race at Kentucky with only 1 playoff spot basically available for a driver to win their way in. This is also going to make it a little bit more difficult on those 3 drivers outside the top 30 in the points. One of them is in tonight's first field, that being Daytona 500 winner Carson Gum. Now, why is this a problem? Because in a 40-car field, you can gain as much as 40 points if you win a race. Well, actually, I think you can gain 47 points. But here, with it only being a 20-car field, Carson Gum, let's use him as a for instance, if he wins tonight's race, he will gain only a total of 27 points, as opposed to 47 that he would have gained in a 40-car field. So while it's going to be exciting for us to watch, it's going to be interesting to see if we have new faces win here this evening. It is going to make it a little bit more pressure-filled for drivers like Carson Gum, Charles Sandfer, and N Ormond, those 3 drivers that have wins this season but come into tonight's events outside the top 30 in the points. As far as the points lead battle goes, that's kind of split up as well. We have, I believe, 3 of the top 5 in points in the first heat, 2 of them in the second heat. Benny Watson, second in the points. Zach Rogers, fourth, and 3-time winner Dylan Young. They're here in heat number 1. Jack Mitchell, who comes into tonight's events as the points leader, as well as third in the standings, William Brock. They are going to be in the second heat. So it's going to be interesting to see, what Benny Watson does here this evening, how Jack Mitchell is able to counter it in the second heat. So a little bit of cat and mouse. On the pole for tonight's first event is going to be J Qualls, our winner from Pukekohe. Now, Qualls, the last couple of weeks, has had really, really good runs. He ran well at Chicago Motor Speedway. He ran well last week in New Hampshire, bringing it home in a top 5. He's now up to 20th in points and has himself a pretty nice 40-point gap back to 30th in the standings now. So Qualls looking like he is in good shape to possibly make it into the playoffs now with his road course win. Alongside of him is Charles Belding, who is trying to become the 3rd rookie to go to victory lane this season, 4th rookie to go to victory lane this season, joining J Thibodeaux, N Hudson, and N Ormond. Belding, of course, has had a pretty struggling year, and he is dead last in the points, so who wants it more? Behind them, you've got J Llamas and Michael Norman, a couple of teammates out of Michael Norman Motorsports. Now, interesting fact for those two, both of them in their careers have wins at a dirt track. J Llamas won earlier on the season at Fuel Motorsports Park. Michael Norman last season went to victory lane in back-to-back dirt track races in the first half of the regular season, winning at both the Springfield Mile and then following it up at Fuel Motorsports Park. So both those drivers, we'll see what they can do. And then take a look at your third row. Defending champion R Acosta still trying to find victory lane. Remember, it wasn't until Martinsville last year that he went to victory lane and put himself into playoff contention. Martinsville is still a few races down the road, and he'll start alongside of J Gardner, who is still looking for his first win since Dover of last year. So a lot of drivers up here towards the front that could be very desperate to get themselves a win, especially knowing that we are drawing close to the end of the regular season. Let's go down trackside, get those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines.
Another driver back there that I noticed that is a former dirt track winner, starting the outside of row 4, T Wright. He won back in season 1 at Lakewood. That's the only time we ever drove that dirt track in Duracell Cup Series competition. He's also the last of the Blue Oval Automotive drivers to try and find victory lane this season. Jordan Lopez, who won last week at New Hampshire in this field here tonight in this heat. And the guy that he beat, who led the most laps last week in New Hampshire, rookie A Kolano, rolls off from 7th. They got to be careful here on this start not to pass the pace car. Green flags in the air. We're underway in race number 20A. Battle for the lead is on. J Llamas wasting no time trying to get to the inside of J Qualls for the race lead. Qualls going to brush the wall off of 4. Cody will take the spot. The Toyotas up here, 1, 2, 3, 4 with Llamas, Qualls, Acosta, and Kolano. Kolano now looking for 3rd. And he will take it as Ryan Brommer looks to follow in the tire tracks up to 4th. Benny Watson looking for 5th. 3 wide further back, that's Norman in the middle, Young on the bottom, Belding way up top side. That may not work. Oh, they gained contact. Acosta's into the wall, Norman's around, and they saved it. Zach Rogers spins it as well. Are we under yellow or did they remain green? We're still green, somehow. They all kept it fairly straight even though there was quite a bit of contact back there, but we are still under green flag conditions. Battle for 3rd. Benny Watson to the inside of J Qualls. He'll take the spot away. Qualls now trying to find his way back in line. He'll tuck in front of Ryan Brommer for 4th. Now Brommer looks to the inside. Jordan Lopez making some moves up to the front. Last week's winner from New Hampshire now passing Austin LaPlante. That is a battle for 7th. And now looks for 6th on Dylan Young. I want to drop back real quick to those drivers that got involved in that little incident. Zach Rogers continues on, but he's 20th. That's dead last right now in the field. Doesn't look like he's got a lot of damage, though. There's Ryan Acosta. Some left side damage, rear damage. I'd be pretty certain there's right side damage as well. And then the other driver that was collected up in that, Michael Norman, still trying to charge back to the front. He's still in the 14th position, looking for 13th on T Wright. We got a car around to the wall. A couple of cars. One was Phil Parker, one was J Gardner, one was M Saatchi, and Ryan Acosta's gotten up into the wall as well. He hit the opening. First caution of the night is the pace car. Holy cow! The pace car with lightning speed. Good Lord. To pick up the field, J Llamas going to be the leader here under the first yellow of the night. There's Gardner, there's Saatchi. I think Phil Parker's already brought it back onto pit road, and Ryan Acosta hit the opening. I think that was pit road exit that he hit. And the defending champion will not be taking a checkered flag here tonight at the Chili Bowl. J Llamas leads the way. Let's go back and see what happened. Watch right side of your screen. I think Ryan Acosta was actually trying to come to pit road to repair the damage he had sustained, and he missed pit road entry. Yeah, that's what happened to him. There's the contact there between Phil Parker and M Saatchi, and then let's see what happened to Gardner. Might have been just a couple of guys getting loose and spinning out. Yep, that's exactly what happens here to Gardner. He was just riding in the 9th position. You see how that car just snapped around on him, and unfortunately, there are no safer barriers here. See Phil Parker, when he slid up into the wall, it just kind of grabs you. That's because these walls here are kind of a foam, but there's also some chain link fence back there, and that just kind of rips the car apart. So Gardner, Saatchi, Parker, and Acosta all at the same time with some incidents up in 3 and 4. That brings out the caution for the first time here tonight at the Chili Bowl. Still a long ways to go in this one. 75 laps to be run. We've only completed 12 of them. J Llamas leads the way, trying to become a 2-time winner this season. He was a 2-time winner back in his rookie year last season when he took back-to-back checkered flags at Pocono and Richmond. Cody, of course, winning the last race of the first half of the regular season at a dirt track this season at Fuel Motorsports Park. So no surprise to see him up at the front here this evening. A Kolano trying to make amends for last week when he dominated, led the most laps in New Hampshire, but came up short on winning. Ryan Brommer, a former winner this season as well, back at Texas, lines up 3rd. Benny Watson, who's been up at near the top of the point standings just about all season long, but he is still looking for that victory. Has not won since, I'm trying to remember what track it was he won at last year. I know it was during the playoffs. I can't think of where it was, though. He lines up in 4th. And J Qualls is going to line up in 5th. Now, we saw Qualls get up the track, and I think he may have brushed the wall a little bit, but I guess it didn't affect him enough to bring him to pit road. So, see if he's going to be up to speed on this restart. Jordan Lopez looking for back-to-back checkered flags. Lines up 6th. LaPlante 7th. Dylan Young 8th. 9th is going to be Carson Gum. We got trouble here. I don't know what's up with Matthew Rodriguez and Levi McIntyre. They just stopped. Matt Rod's in 10th. McIntyre in 11th. Are they waiting for this car that's on pit road? There's a car on pit lane. That's J Gardner in the 14. I don't know what these guys are doing. We're getting ready to go green, so those guys better catch back up. J Llamas about to put us back under the green flag here on lap 16 of 75. Green flag back in the air here at the Chili Bowl. We saw Cody kind of stack them all up. He had to make sure he didn't pass the pace car before going green. Benny Watson was on it, though. He's going to go for 3rd place on R Brommer. Brommer's going to get the wall there and slow up J Qualls, who also goes up the track, and he's brushing the wall there through 1 and 2. 3 wide now because of that. Carson Gum up the middle. Matthew Rodriguez to the inside. They settle it back out to double wide. Back up closer to the front of the field. Lopez and Watson battling for 3rd. Behind them, Brommer and Young for the 5th position. Oh, and Watson gets the wall there. Pretty good shot to the right side of hers Toyota Camry. Now look at this. The guys who finished 1st and 2nd 1 week ago lined up nose to tail behind J Llamas. Lopez into the wall. Loops it around in front of the field. Dylan Young's going to get a piece of it. Caution's going to wave again. And that was some pretty significant damage there for Lopez as Brommer up and into the wall. And Brommer was running in 5th, and ooh, look out. Guys having to make their way through traffic, and I don't know why these guys are all going around these cars that were on the lead lap. Cody and Kolano and Watson, they got to let these guys by because they are still on the lead lap. Not sure what brought out that yellow, though. If it was Jordan Lopez's spin or if it might have been something earlier. R Brommer is right now scored in 8th. So I don't know why he's up here in 3rd place. They have him scored 3rd now. Was it because he crossed the line, spun out, and had to get his spot back? I don't know if he was running in 3rd when he spun out or not. It looks like they got everything settled back out here, so let's go back and see what brought out the caution for the 2nd time here tonight in race 1 of the Chili Bowl. I'm going to assume it was this. Jordan Lopez running in the 3rd position at the time. Let's see what happens to him because... Oh, he just overdrove the corner, got it up into the wall. I thought maybe the car got loose on him like we saw earlier on with Phil Parker, but no. Just sometimes you get back to the throttle too soon and carry too much speed, and the car just doesn't want to turn, go straight up into the wall. Dylan Young gets a piece of it there, as you can see, with the Ironman Ford Mustang. Don't know how significant the damage is going to be to that race car, because especially at a dirt track, the last thing you want to do is have damage to the front end, because obviously you're not getting any clean air with the dirt and dust being kicked back into your grill, and the last thing you want to do is cause something inside the car near the engine compartment and end up having it overheat. So that's what brings out the caution for the 2nd time here tonight. Let's go back now for the green. Green flag came back out. We apparently missed it, but Austin Kolano just took the race lead away from J Llamas. Llamas now going to try and fight back for that position. R Brommer lines up in 3rd. I'm still trying to figure out why he's in 3rd, but because he was like 5th, I think, crossing the line to take the caution. But he's got Levi McIntyre now challenging him for that spot. Austin LaPlante, Benny Watson mixing it up for the 4th position behind them. And Jordan Lopez, who brought out the last caution, stayed out, restarted back in the 7th spot. That's where he currently is at. McIntyre moving his way to the front. He just got around Brommer for 3rd. Now looking to get by J Llamas for 2nd. Succeeds in doing so. Now sets his sights on the 81 of Austin Kolano, who's going to have J Gardner coming out on track right in front of him. And they're 3 wide for 2nd behind him. Brommer, McIntyre, Llamas. Somehow they got through that, and that brings LaPlante into the mix. Oh, careful. I'm hearing some drivers brushing the wall. They're over driving the corner on exit. That's what happened to Lopes to bring out the second caution. Kolano continuing to show the way, although I think he may have brushed the wall there. Now LaPlante and R Brommer will mix it up for second place. Meanwhile, we go a little bit further back. You've got Matthew Rodriguez now has worked his way up into the top 10. Battling for sixth with Jordan Lopes. And J Qualls, who faded back early after starting on the pole. He's now battling for the 9th spot with Dylan Young. T Wright in the mix there as well in 11th. Trying to crack into the top 10 as Qualls now goes to the inside of Watson for 8th. Further up to the front, we got a battle for second. Brommer and LaPlante. This going on about 0.7 of a second behind race leader Austin Kolano. And the more these drivers battle side by side, the easier it's going to be for Kolano to pull away. Although despite them battling side by side, those two actually just gained a 10th on the 81. M Saatchi back here. He's just now coming out of turn 2. Kolano out of turn 2 now. The reason I looked at that was because I'm wondering about slower traffic maybe coming into play for these race leaders. Kolano now has R Brommer trying to hunt him down. Brommer has cleared LaPlante for the second position. 0.6 of a second separation between the 81 and the 9. Brommer, remember, spun out under the same caution that Lopes did. He's got that rear end damage, so you got to wonder if that's affecting him. J Llamas now trying to fight back to the front after spending a good portion of the first third of this race in the lead. He just took 4th place back from V McIntire, now looks to the inside of LaPlante for 3rd. And we talked about Carson Gum trying to make up spots here this evening. Oh, the caution's out. Caution's waving, but I was going to mention Carson right now is running in 15th. That's 15th out of 20 cars. So right now, not what the 19 team is looking for. Yellow flag is out here on lap 41. And let's see who it might have involved. Maybe Charles Belding, maybe Aaron Macklin. Nope, it was Michael Norman, who is on pit road in the 18 car. A former dirt track winner, a 2-time dirt track winner back in season 2. And he brings out the 3rd caution of the night. Let's go back and see what happened. This was a battle for around the 10th position. Dylan Young, Charles Belding, Michael Norman all in the same vicinity. And you can see right there, looks like Belding may have turned down across the nose of Michael Norman. Now Norman, actually, I think, yeah, he spun onto pit road. Belding, you see on the right side of your screen, hits the outside wall, and he got collected up by Macklin in the 93. Norman hit with the front of his race car there. I don't know what kind of a wall it is that is just at pit road entry, but that's what he hit. However, I have been told he has come back out onto the track. I think he's a lap down, though. Let's go back for the green flag as we're going to be now in the second half of this race. So let's try and see if we can give as good a full field rundown as we can. I think we are probably going to go back green in the next lap or two. Kolano the leader, R Brommer second, LaPlante's third, Llamas fourth, McIntire fifth, and it's Jordan Lopes, J Qualls, T Wright, Matthew Rodriguez, and Dylan Young. That's your top 10. Then the rate that the rest of them line up, Zach Rogers in 11th, Benny Watson's now all the way back in 12th, Carson Gum up to 13th, Aaron Macklin 14th, Charles Belding 15th, M Saatchi in 16th. Those cars are on the lead lap. 1 lap down in 17th is Michael Norman. 18 laps down after being on pit road multiple times during that last run, J Gardner. And then out of the race are the 2 cars of Phil Parker and R Acosta. Green flag is going to come back out this time, I think. Oh no, they just threw the caution again. Probably because of the 75 being stopped on track. So I don't know if they'll wave that off and we'll go back green here or not. I guess we are going green because Michael Norman's going to line up to the inside of his teammate here. I forgot about the fact the lap cars line up on the inside, so this could be a very interesting restart. Green flag's going to come back out with, I believe, 29 laps left to go in this race. Nope, we do have 1 more lap of caution, apparently. And let's just make sure they don't stop this time. They don't. Okay, so they brought out the caution because the 75 was stopped on track. Well, Kolano, even though he didn't win last week at New Hampshire, did with his second place run jump up to 11th in the standings, so there's no doubt in my mind if he were to close the deal here tonight in the first race of the Chili Bowl, that he would probably be in the playoffs as the green flag is back in the air. With Norman on the inside, that's going to open up the door for somebody to maybe challenge Kolano for the lead, and that driver could very well be the 9 of R Brommer. He will get to the inside of the 81 looking for the race lead. Cody Llamas, another Michael Norman Motorsports car, trying to get up there as well. You've got all three of the Michael Norman Motorsports cars up here. Michael Norman on the tail end of the lead lap, Kolano in second, Llamas in third, and now Llamas looks for second place on Kolano. Michael Norman was trying to hold on to the tail end of the lead lap, but Brommer, I think, is going to clear him. Llamas will clear Kolano for second. Now has to get by his teammate to be able to have an opportunity to run down the 9. Another driver has just cracked the top 10 that maybe we should give some credence to, and that is Zach Rogers, because he has a dirt track win this season at the Springfield Mile. They're now battling with Dylan Young. That would be for the 10th position, actually. And Dylan Young will take it. Further up, teammates battling for the 5th position. Levi McIntyre to the inside of Jordan Lopez. And Austin LaPlante just got around Austin Kolano. That was for 3rd. Llamas now trying to get by his lap-down teammate Norman. At the same time, has not really let R Brommer get away. Clears Norman. Now Llamas sets his sights for the race lead. Kolano and LaPlante still in a battle for 3rd there. Llamas, I think, has a much cleaner race car than R Brommer does. Question is, though, can Brommer hold Llamas off? Well, this is a good battle here. They've been crossing each other over. LaPlante and Kolano, and that time Kolano got the wall. How about a comeback here for J Qualls? He's now up to the 5th position. But now he's about to maybe lose it. Levi McIntyre looking for the spot. The pole sitter was up front, fell back, works his way back up yet again. He's got his teammate J Gardner back there, multiple laps down playing defense, and now Gardner dives for pit road yet again. Matthew Rodriguez currently holding down the 7th spot. Jordan Lopez, 3 wide as Lopez goes up the middle. Trey Wright's going to go to the inside. This is a 3 wide battle for the 7th position, and they are going to settle it out as Zach Rogers now enters the fray. 7th through 10th right there. The 28, 57, 6, and 38. Meanwhile, battle for the lead is on. Cody Llamas has chipped away at R Brommer's lead. Looks to peek to the inside for the spot, and they have traffic up ahead to deal with in a moment. I think you can see the dust cloud kicked up there. I believe that might be the 21 of M Saatchi that they're fast approaching. Yes, it is. They've only got a couple of corners before they catch him, as Cody Llamas will take the clear for the lead against R Brommer. And we're nearing 10 laps to go. Austin LaPlante now has moved into the 3rd spot. He's gotten clear of the lap machine of Michael Norman. So the top 3 right now clear of traffic. A Toyota, a Dodge, and a Chevy. And all 3 have won this season. LaPlante won at Fuel Motorsports Park. Brommer won at Texas. LaPlante won at Kansas. So all of them are looking to get their 2nd win on the season and all but confirm themselves a spot in the playoffs now. LaPlante just took 2nd away from Brommer, so now it's going to come down between the 2 Johnson fans for the moment, Llamas and LaPlante, as they're closing in on M Saatchi in the 21. Saatchi, a former winner this season at Dover, but he could play a huge factor into who's going to win tonight's first race of the Chili Bowl. As Llamas closes into his back bumper, LaPlante is there within striking distance. If Llamas makes a mistake, it'll be 6 laps to go at the line, this time by. Llamas will get to the inside of the 21. LaPlante looks to do the same. Both of them are going to clear M Saatchi pretty well. It's now going to be between these 2 in the final 5 laps, perhaps, to finish out this race and see who takes the checkers. LaPlante going to take advantage as Llamas got the wall off of 4. Side by side for the race lead. LaPlante on the bottom. Llamas on the top. Llamas trying to make sure he doesn't brush the wall off of 4 again. He's going to lose the lead, but can he cross the 48 over perhaps? Now the hunted has become the hunter as Llamas drives it deep into the corner. Looks to get back to the left rear quarter panel of the National Guard Chevrolet. They cross the line, 3 laps to go. If a caution comes out at any point now, the race will be over when they hit the stripe. Hopefully we can continue it clean and green. It's Llamas chasing down LaPlante. 2 laps to go. And LaPlante is pulling away little by little, about a car length and a half between himself and Llamas. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. Cody drives it in deep. A last-ditch attempt. Is he within striking distance to get to the inside? Looked a little loose through that corner. Both cars go wide. But it's going to be Austin LaPlante holding on and winning his 2nd race of the season. He takes the 1st race of the night at the Chili Bowl as Dylan Young spun out coming off turn 4 right in front of Benny Watson and others, but still coming to the checkers, so it did not matter as far as bringing out a caution. And we got a car on pit road. Actually, we've got several cars on pit road, which I believe are cars coming to pit lane on purpose. Never mind. And we apparently cannot see the race winner because he is back behind the Lucas Oil Racing TV banner. So we might as well look at our full finishing results from this race. Dylan Young spun out. He was 4 laps down. I don't know what happened to him, but whatever it was, it didn't bring out a caution. So LaPlante wins here tonight. That's his 2nd win of the season. That's also his 2nd win in 4 races this season. So that all confirms him a spot in the playoffs. He joins Dylan Young as a multi-time winner this year now. Cody Llamas brings it home in 2nd. Ryan Brommer with a rear end that was all crunched up still brings it home 3rd. Austin Kolano, another great performance in 4th. James Qualls there in 5th. So Kolano and Qualls back-to-back top 5s. Levi McIntyre was 6th. Zach Rogers 7th. Jordan Lopez in 8th, Matthew Rodriguez 9th, and Trey Wright completed the top 10. Rest of the drivers to finish on the lead lap were Benny Watson in 11th, Carson Gum in 12th, and Aaron Macklin in 13th. Michael Norman finished 14th, 1 lap down. Mark Saatchi 1 lap down in 15th. 4 laps down was 3-time winner Dylan Young in 16th. Not sure what really happened to him. Charles Belding finished out of the race in 17th. Johnny Gardner multiple laps down, 18th, and out of the race after the first caution, Phil Parker and Ryan Acosta. So that is going to do it here for the 1st race of the Chili Bowl. We still got 1 more to go. If this one is any indication, it is going to be wild. Don't go anywhere. Keep your seats. Race number 2 is coming up next. Field is gridded and set for our 2nd race of the night here at the Chili Bowl. Rookie Jacob Thibodeaux lines up on the pole for this one. Of course, for Thibodeaux, the last couple of weeks have been nothing short of miraculous, let's be honest. Thibodeaux ended up winning race number 3 earlier on the season at Las Vegas. He fell all the way down to dead last in the points, and in the last couple of weeks has been able to climb his way up to now 26th in the standings, in position for a playoff spot. And he starts on the pole for this one, trying to become the first 2-time winner as a rookie this year. We saw LaPlante, of course, get his 2nd win just moments ago. Dylan Young is a 3-time winner, but they are both current Duracell Cup Series veterans. On the front row with him is going to be Jessica Shelton in the 0-2. Now, Shelton actually had a good run last week at New Hampshire, has climbed up to 31st in points and only 7 points out of 30th in the stands. So if she won here tonight, that would undoubtedly put her up in the top 30 in points with a shot at a playoff position. Behind them, Charles Sandfer, he along with N Ormond, who are both starting 3rd and 6th. Those are the 2 drivers we're highlighting here in this heat race based off of being outside the top 30 in points. Ormond comes into this race 33rd in points. He is 16 points behind the cut line. Charles Sandfer is currently 21 points behind the cut line. He is 36th in the stands, but both of them could make up huge grounds here this evening if they were to take a checkered flag in the Chili Bowl. And we have gotten the command to fire up the engines. We're going to have the cars rolling off here. We saw Benny Watson, Zach Rogers, Dylan Young, Cody Llamas, a lot of drivers up there in the points in the first heat. Your points leader, Jack Mitchell, is in tonight's heat race. He is rolling off from the 17th position. So we'll see how he fares. He came into this race with a 22-point gap over Benny Watson, and Watson, I believe, finished in 11th in the first heat race. Another 75 laps to be run here in the Chili Bowl. Who's going to take the 2nd checkered flag of the evening? Green flags in the air. Let's roll. And Thibodeaux was on it. He got away with the lead. Sandfer moves to second. Turner trying to go for third. Now he'll look for second place, actually, underneath Sandfer. 3 wide behind him. That's Matt Haas, Nathan Hudson, and Adam Garcia. And there's still 3 wide behind him. Baker, Millz, and Ormond. And somehow they're making this work. Oh, give room, guys. There's still 3 wide. Millz up the middle. Garcia stuck up on the top side. That's Cole Baker making strides on the bottom. He just picked up 3-4 spots in a matter of 2 laps. Now currently up into the, I think, 6th or 7th position. Now he gets put in the middle 3 wide. Millz is going to go down to the bottom. Sandfer stuck on the top side. Up at the front, we just had an exchange for second place. Jesse Turner just lost the spot to Nathan Hudson, our rookie winner from Michigan. Now it's Northeast Motorsports first and second. And remember, their teammate went to victory lane just moments ago, Austin LaPlante. So could it be a sweep here at the Chili Bowl for Northeast Motorsports Chevrolet team? Millz just took the 4th position away from Matt Haas. Now he's under fire. Mitchell Collins, who finished second a few weeks ago at Chicago Motor Speedway to teammate Dylan Young, he's still looking for his first win since season 1 at Kansas. And how about Jack Mitchell? Started 17th. He's already up to 8th. Just took 7th away. And we got a big wreck in the back. Sandfer up and over. Shelton as well. I believe the teammates just got together out of turn 4. Vince Almariego was collected as well. Ryan Butcher got a piece, and so too did Kyle Mathews. So 3 of the S3 Motorsports cars were caught up in that wreck. Caution out for the first time here in the 2nd race of the Chili Bowl. Jacob Thibodeaux, the race leader, over Nathan Hudson, Jesse Turner, Mitchell Collins, and Jack Mitchell as they hit the line. Let's go back and see what happened. First car we've had get airborne here tonight, and it was the 03 of Charles Sandfer. See if we can figure out what started this. It was a 3 wide situation. That's Keith Batson on the bottom, Charles Sandfer in the middle, Jessica Shelton up top side. And looks like Sandfer may have slid up into Shelton. Hooks Keith Batson up the track as well, and then there's the shot. Shelton went up and over, Sandfer up and into the air there. Deaver got a piece, Baker got a piece. I think Deaver may have actually hit the flagman stand with the rear end of his car. There is Kyle Mathews with damage. Vince Almariego ran into, I think it might have been Sandfer. And then they were wrecking further up here as well. Well, they almost did. Carter Friesen almost took Kyle Mathews off of his nose. Ryan Butcher also had some damage there on the back end of the 78, but oh my goodness, look at that. And then here comes the race leader, Jacob Thibodeaux, into view, and almost got collected up in that mess. We talked about Sandfer trying to make his way into the top 30 in points. Shelton was 31st in points coming to this one. Both of them could have really benefited from a good points day. That's not going to be the case. They're going to be one of the first retirees out of the race here in the 2nd heat of the Chili Bowl. Green flag's going to come back out on lap 14 of 75, I do believe. We are getting ready to go back under green flag conditions. We went a lot longer there on this heat than we did in the first heat of getting our first caution, as Jacob Thibodeaux over rookie teammate Nathan Hudson will get us back underway. Turner, Collins, Mitchell, your top 5. Then it's Millz, Haas, Smith, Deaver, and Brock, the top 10. We have 4 drivers out of the race after the incident we just saw. Those include Keith Batson, Cole Baker, Charles Sandfer, and Jessica Shelton. Battle is on for second. Collins, Turner, and Hudson mixing it up. Thibodeaux was able to get away for the moment. Now Collins will clear for second place. Jose Millz making a move to the inside of Turner. That is for 4th. And now he'll look for 3rd on Nathan Hudson. Well, that 98 car is able to hook the bottom pretty good. Jose Millz, of course, won on fuel strategy at the road course of Pensacola. Most winningest driver in the Duracell Cup Series, and looking to continue to build up wins, as he will get by Collins and he will clear for second place. Now let's see if he's got a car capable of running down Thibodeaux for the race lead. William Brock started near the back. He's now up to 7th. The only one of the Northeast Motorsports cars that has not won yet this season. And of course his teammate LaPlante took the checkers just moments ago in the first heat race, so you could bet this looks to Brock like a golden opportunity. William Brock running a new paint scheme here, kind of the reverse of his other red and white Synovus banking Chevrolet. And there's another driver in this field with a new paint scheme as well. There's Carter Friesen's new Wendy's Chevrolet. Jack Mitchell right now in the 10th position, just trying to maintain the gap between himself and Benny Watson. Mentioned Watson finished 11th in the first heat race, so if Mitchell can remain in the top 10, he will gain points going into next week at Kentucky. Nathan Hudson got back around Jose Millz for second place, so the two Northeast Motorsports rookies remain in first and second. Millz trying to get back up to the bumper of the Allegiant Air Chevrolet. No success as of right now. Rookie points leader Patrick Smith currently slotted in the 4th spot. Good run for him. Came into this race 15 points over Cole Deaver for the rookie points lead, and of course 7th in the standings, so if he were to win, he would undoubtedly get a playoff spot lined up. Jesse Turner, on the other hand, there in the 47. Turner comes into this race currently 24th in points, and let's not forget, Jesse Turner has made the playoffs for the last 2 seasons. Right now in danger of not making it into the playoffs for Season 3, so undoubtedly he is going to be on the hunt here tonight, especially after what happened last week at New Hampshire when he brought out that caution that ended the race under yellow after hitting the pit wall coming to pit road for green flag pit stops. Mitchell Collins just passed Patrick Smith for the 4th position. And Jacob Thibodeaux has been able to check out, which we really haven't seen a driver do so far this evening. He's got about a 2nd and a 10th between himself and that battle for second place between Hudson and Millz. V Almariego just now heading into turns 3 and 4. He's coming off turn 4. Thibodeaux just exited turn 2, so it's a whole half a track before Thibodeaux would have to deal with any slower machines. And all of a sudden, Jose Millz' car does not look nearly as strong as it did earlier on. The car is not able to hold the bottom any longer. He was making some really good moves on the inside line, and now he's running the middle line right in the tire tracks of the 24 of Nathan Hudson, which could very well also be upsetting his car, not having clear visibility. It's actually falling back into the clutches of Patrick Smith for 3rd place. Mitchell Collins might actually have the fastest car on the track right now. Well, actually, no, it is Thibodeaux still with the fastest car. He just ran a 12.319. Nathan Hudson was a tick quicker with a 3.13. See if anybody else was quicker. Collins ran a 3.33. Cole Deaver's got the fastest car on track right now. He just ran a 2.31. After the rear end damage, after sliding and hitting the back end into the flagman stand on the infield, Deaver has now worked his way up into the 6th position. And Jesse Turner just brushed the wall. That opens the door for Jack Mitchell to challenge for 7th. William Brock there to try and take 8th place. Mitchell clears, gets the spot. Brock now for 8th on the 47. He'll probably get the spot as Turner's having trouble holding the bottom of the track as well. And Nathan Hudson is pulling away from Jose Millz. Question is he closing in on his teammate Thibodeaux? 1.2 seconds was the gap last time by. Let's see what it is this time. Just about the same. Thibodeaux was a tick quicker by about 100th over Hudson. Nathan Hudson coming into this race currently 16th in points. Thibodeaux coming in 26th in the standings. Both of them former winners. Thibodeaux at Las Vegas and Hudson at Michigan. And that time by, the gap was closed up by about 7/100ths. Hudson was definitely faster that lap, so all of a sudden Nathan Hudson, does he have something to get up there and take away the win from his teammate? It's not the first time we've seen teammates this season battle it out for a win. Young Motorsports has been involved in a couple of battles between their own teammates at Pikes Peak and a couple of weeks ago at Chicago. Little by little, Hudson is chipping away. That Last time by, he actually lost ground, and that time he lost ground as well. So now all of a sudden, whatever he found, he is not keeping up with it. Because with what it was looking like, if he had kept the pace he was going, he would have been on Thibodeaux's back bumper within the next 10 to 11 laps. Now he is steadily losing 2 100ths each lap to the 33. That time he gained 4 100ths. He can see the 33 up ahead of him, and maybe that's more of a hindrance than a help. He's trying to see what line Thibodeaux's running and trying to run differently, and that might be where he's making his mistakes. That time, 7 100ths gained. And if he could get up into the draft maybe of the 33, that might help him as well. He's just got to hit his marks. He cannot lose ground. That time, they stayed the same. Thibodeaux just ran his fastest lap of the race. 48 laps in, he just ran his fastest lap. And that time he was a little bit faster, about a 100th faster than Hudson. And I think he's closing in on slower traffic. I think he's not too far away from catching V Almariego. Maybe about a corner and a half. And if he gets held up behind the 42, who does have that front end damage, that is going to bring Nathan Hudson up into the picture potentially for the win. It's really between those two. Then you got to go a long ways back. This is about a second and 4 tenths rather. Back from second place Nathan Hudson. This battle between Jose Millz and Patrick Smith. Mitchell Collins there. There's Cole Deaver, who got up to 6th, but that's about as far as he's been able to make forward progress. And now Jack Mitchell's trying to reel him in for that spot. Nathan Ormond, we mentioned him needing a good run here today. Right now he's in the 9th spot. Came into this race 16 points behind 30th in standings cut line. And he's trying to get by William Brock for what would be another spot, 8th place. Go back up to the front here as the gap remains about a little over a second from Thibodeaux back to Hudson. And that time, a 2 100ths gained by Hudson. The bad news for Hudson, though, is time is ticking away. This next time by, it'll be 20 laps to go. Still plenty of time, but at a short track like this, those laps tick away very quickly. That time by, Hudson lost some ground to Thibodeaux. Jacob Thibodeaux, of course, ran full-time last year in the Pedigree Xfinity Series. He did not find victory lane. Came here into the Duracell Cup Series as a rookie, became the first rookie to take a checkered flag, winning at Las Vegas. And now he looks like he could be poised here in Season 3 to be the first rookie to take 2 checkered flags, after what has certainly been a roller coaster ride through the first half of the regular season and heading here into the second half of the regular season. But Thibodeaux wants to make the playoffs, and a second win could certainly be the start of that. He is now in the draft of the 42 of V Almariego, which may be helping his lap times a little bit. He just ran his fastest lap of the race that time with a 12.267, and that's allowing him, at least for the moment, to pull away from Nathan Hudson. I would have thought a slower car would be a hindrance to the 33, but no. It's actually helping his lap times and helping him to pull away from his teammate in the 24. We'll see what happens when he catches up to the 42 car, though, as he's almost got it now to a second and 2 tenths between himself and Hudson. Hudson still running pretty good lap times, but he's not got the aid of a draft. Oh, that time he gained a lot. That time he gained about 6 100ths. And now I think we're starting to see that Thibodeaux is not benefiting from draft anymore. Instead, the 42 is upsetting his race car. Another, that time a 10th cut down by Nathan Hudson. He's closing in with 10 laps to go. We could have a battle here for the win between a couple of rookie teammates out of Northeast Motorsports. What a night it's been for Northeast Motorsports, though. LaPlante taking the checkers in the first heat race. And now you've got a chance for that team to sweep. The question is, who's going to be the second winner of the night? It's now less than a second separating Thibodeaux back to Hudson. And Thibodeaux still trying to make the move on the 42. He finally gets to the inside, but not before Hudson's closed it down by 8 tenths. And Almariego, even though he's got that damage, he is somewhat up to speed, and that's why it's made it a little bit difficult for Thibodeaux to get around. Thibodeaux finally clears him. Now Hudson's got to get around the 42. And he's only going to have 6 laps left as Thibodeaux hits the stripe. About a second separation from Thibodeaux back to Hudson. Jacob Thibodeaux trying to join Cody Llamas as a driver with a yellow stripe on the back bumper, taking 2 checkered flags. Llamas did it 1 year ago, was a 2-time winner as a rookie. And Jacob Thibodeaux looking to do the same. Remember the car that he is driving, that was a car driven last year by Benjamin Miles, who was a 2-time winner and made it into the playoffs. So that 33 team has not lost a beat, even though it was an exchange from a veteran to a rookie driver. 2 laps to go for Jacob Thibodeaux, who now has opened it up to over a 2nd and 7/10. Now a 2nd and 8/10 back to Nathan Hudson, who has still not gotten around the 42 of Almariego. It's a runaway here in the second heat of the Chili Bowl. White flag in the air, 1 more lap to go. His teammate LaPlante won the first heat race earlier on tonight. It'll be a Northeast Motorsports sweep at the Chili Bowl. Thibodeaux's 2nd win of the season tonight at the dirt track. Almost feel like we just ran the Gatorade duels, because that was very much like what we've had, where one duel is a wreck fest, the second, or whichever case, the other duel is a clean and green. And that's pretty much what we had here tonight. The first duel race, the first heat race of the Chili Bowl was filled with cautions, was filled with drivers messing up corners, hitting the wall. Came down to an exciting finish, but here in the second duel, it was really a runaway. Jacob Thibodeaux got out in front and never looked back. Dominated this race from the pole. We did have a caution, but only one here in the 75 laps of the second heat of the Chili Bowl. Jacob Thibodeaux, though, boy, just look at his season, though. He wins at Las Vegas. He drops down to dead last in points, comes into this race 26th in the standings, has clawed his way back in the top 30, and now he's a 2-time winner. And that is going to put him potentially into a confirmed spot in the playoffs as long as he now stays completely in the top 30 in the standings. Nathan Hudson, even though he was not able to get his 2nd win of the season, it's going to be a great points day for the Michigan winner. This will move him up into the top 15 in the standings. Jose Millz, a great points day for him as well, a guy that came in 12th in the standings. Patrick Smith, rookie points leader. He'll continue to grow that rookie points lead with a 4th place run, and Mitchell Collins brings it home 5th. Cole Deaver, nice comeback for him as he was involved in our first and only caution of the night. He gets 6th. Jack Mitchell will continue to grow his points lead in the overall standings as he finished 7th. Nathan Ormond in 8th. It'll be interesting to see if this 8th place run puts him back in the top 30 in points or not. And completing top 10 were William Brock and Carter Friesen. Ryan Butcher 11th, Jesse Turner in 12th, Adam Garcia in 13th. Kyle Mathews, despite getting involved in the only caution we had, he gets 14th still in the lead lap. Matt Haas in 15th. Vince Almariego finished 1 lap down in 16th, and out of the race after our only caution of the night, Keith Batson, Cole Baker, Charles Sandfer, and Jessica Shelton. That's going to do it here this evening from the Chili Bowl. This race did not disappoint, and we did not actually have 2 different race winners. We actually had 2 repeat winners here this evening, both of them out of the Northeast Motorsports stables. Austin LaPlante winning the first heat race, Jacob Thibodeaux winning the second heat race. But certainly should be interesting as far as our playoff grid would look like now, because with repeat winners, that leaves more opportunity open for drivers to still make it into the playoffs without wins through points. But we'll see what the story is going to continue on next week at Kentucky Speedway. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's races from the Chili Bowl. If you enjoyed them, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We've shown you full footage results from the first heat race here and the second heat race now. We are now going to show you what your point standings look like heading into next week at the Kentucky Speedway, as now only 6 races remain in the regular season until we find out the 16 drivers that will battle it out in this season's chase for the championship. But until then, I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.